Okay, picture this. You wake up tomorrow, you check your email, and there it is. Restructuring complete. Your entire team, just gone. And not because of a bad economy or a market crash, but because of a single click from an AI. This isn't some far-off sci-fi story. We're going to break down how AI is flipping the job market on its head, like right now. So let's dive in and see what this actually means for you.
Yeah, and that number you see, 55,000, that's not a guess. That's the real number of US layoffs this year that have been officially chalked up to AI. I mean, think about that for a second. It's a huge figure, and it tells us this whole thing is moving way, way faster than anyone really saw coming.
So, okay, a big number like 55,000 is one thing. But let's bring this home. I want you to think about your own team, your coworkers, your specific job. Could one single piece of software do all of it? I mean, that question used to be pure science fiction, right? Well, now it's becoming a very real, everyday question for companies all over the world.
All right, first section, the overnight takeover. And that's not an exaggeration. We are right in the thick of it. This isn't some slow burn change that's going to take 10 years to unfold. Nope. For a lot of people, it is happening literally right now as we're talking here in late 2025.
So, what's really driving this? Well, it's this idea of multimodal AI. Think about it like this. What if you had one tool that could be your graphic designer, your copywriter, your developer, and your data analyst all at the same time? It's not just that AI got a little better at one thing. It's that it can now do 10 different jobs at once. That is the absolute core of this disruption.
Okay, to really get a feel for how this plays out in the real world, let's break it down. We're going to look at the anatomy of this disruption through a little case study. So let's meet Alex's agency. Now this is a made-up company, but it's super typical. It's a 10-person team, right? You've got your graphic designer, your copywriter, your developer, all the specialists you'd expect, from the creative side to the tech side. This is how we've always done things. You get a bunch of smart humans, each an expert in their own thing, and put them together. And here is the brutal, cold, hard math that is pushing this whole thing forward. That human team, they cost, let's say, $600,000 a year in salaries. The AI tool to do a similar project? $3.50. Yeah, you heard me right, $3.50. When you see a number like that, you start to understand why this is happening. That economic pressure is just immense. It's forcing some really, really tough decisions.
And look, don't think for a second this is just a hypothetical for some small agency. This exact same logic, this same math is what's driving decisions at the biggest companies on the planet today.
I mean, just look at this list from 2025. You've got Duolingo replacing contractors with AI to generate lessons. Klarna, their AI bot is now doing the work of 850 human agents. 850. Then there's IBM slashing programmer jobs because AI writes a third of their code now. Amazon, Salesforce, UPS, the list just keeps going. And these aren't just little pilot programs, you guys. These are huge company-wide shifts away from people for certain jobs.
But, you know, a change this big is never just one thing, is it? It's complicated. There are some serious downsides, the shadows, but there are also some incredible new opportunities, the sparks. So let's get into the messy reality of what happens when AI really starts to take hold.
Let's just look at the two sides of the coin here. On the one hand, the World Economic Forum says, yeah, 85 million jobs could get displaced. That could totally break that first rung on the career ladder for a lot of people. But on the other hand, they also think 97 million new roles will be created. In the economy, sure, you might see inequality get worse as big tech gets bigger, but you could also see a $20 trillion boost to the global economy. And for small businesses, it's tough. A lot of them are falling behind in adopting this stuff. But for a solopreneur, you could literally build an empire from your laptop without ever hiring anyone. It's a story of risk and reward, for sure.
So, here's the most important takeaway from all that data. If you're thinking about this as humans versus machines, you're looking at it all wrong. That's not the game. The real path forward, where all the opportunity lies, is in figuring out how humans can work with machines. Which naturally brings us to the most important part of this whole conversation, your adaptation playbook. Because we're past the point of just watching this happen from the sidelines. It's time to talk about a real, actionable plan for how you can actually win in this new world. I absolutely love this quote. Panic is poison, pivot is power. It just nails the mindset shift we all need to make. Panicking gets you nowhere, you just freeze up. But pivoting, actively deciding to change your direction, that's where you find all the power. The goal isn't to try and beat the AI, the goal is to master it. So how do you actually do that? How do you master the tool? Well, it really boils down to 4 key steps. Step 1 is prompt mastery, basically learning how to talk to AI to get exactly what you want out of it. Step 2 is forging a hybrid role, and we'll talk more about this, but it's about blending what you're good at with what AI is good at. Step 3, build resilience. This means doubling down on the stuff that's really hard to automate, critical thinking, strategy, working with people. And finally, step 4, advocate for ethics. You've got to understand the new rules of this game, privacy, bias, all that stuff, so you can be a responsible leader.
Okay, let's zoom in on that second one because it's so important. What in the world is a hybrid role? It's simple, really. It's where you take your unique human skills, your creativity, your strategic mind, your ability to connect with people, and you merge them with what AI can do. So a coder doesn't just get replaced. No, they become an AI architect who designs the whole system. A writer doesn't disappear. They become a content strategist who uses AI to spot trends and then map out a huge campaign. It's that fusion that's going to be incredibly valuable.
All right, let's pull back for a second and look a little further down the road. What's this all going to look like in, say, 5 or 10 years? What's the view from the 2030 horizon?
Well, the World Economic Forum actually has a pretty interesting take. They think we're heading for a kind of equilibrium. So yeah, maybe almost half of all the tasks we do get automated. But, and this is a big but, the majority of jobs won't just vanish. They'll have evolved. That really points to a future that's more about adaptation than annihilation. Our roles will be supercharged by AI, not completely wiped out.
And so, all of this leaves us with the big question, right? Is AI our ally, something that's going to unlock human potential and create this incredible new wave of prosperity? Or is it the annihilator, here to just wipe out jobs, stability, and everything we know about work? As we've seen, the evidence really points both ways. It seems like the final outcome really depends on us, on our willingness to adapt, to pivot, to learn. The revolution isn't on its way. It's already here. The only choice left is how we decide to navigate.